Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. But remember, there's no astrology in these, so make sure you check them out for all three so that you understand which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. And they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week, and also if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. All right, so for your key to the week, you have the Strength card. So your physical health and vitality, I think this came up actually in your monthly Astro Tarot as well, but your physical health and vitality must take precedence this week, because the Strength card very often speaks to the physical body, and it also suggests that there is some kind of big leap that a lot of you are planning to take. Now, this is in difference to, like, it's not the Fool card, but whenever this card shows up, it does basically say we need to gather our courage to us in order to make some kind of big, bold move. Now, in all of these different sectors of your life, you have to really balance your energies so that, you know, when you're tired, etc., you need to rest. Make sure you're looking after your physical health and vitality, he says, with a cold setting in. But then also, you need to you know, gather your courage underneath you, or gather your wings to you and be prepared and ready to move on something. Now, for your actions and options, you have the Three of Swords. So for a select few of you, this might actually look like you needing to have the courage to remove yourself from a situation, a place, or a connection. In terms of the options that are available to you, there is a chance for you to get out of something this week. And it's kind of like, so that's how the Three of Swords is showing up, right? There's a possibility for you to walk away from or to remove something or someone from your life. May not necessarily be easy, and that Strength card says you have the guts, the power, and the energy to do so. It's just about whether you choose to or not. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Knight of Swords. So look, this is potentially a week where there are some harsh words that may be spoken. This might actually, you know, the Knight of Swords is quite an angry / aggressive kind of communications card. And so in this element and in this space of your reading, especially with the Three of Swords, this could be an argument that surfaces that there's kind of no getting out of or no getting around. It might be that you choose to make maybe you choose to make like there's something that you choose to do for yourself or what you feel is right for your lifescape, etc. And by doing so, you upset somebody else's apple cart. And it's like, where maybe usually you would temper how you feel or how you tread with that, you're like, no, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me. I'm going to shine in the way that I shine. And if that doesn't work for you and you can't support me, then so be it. But that's not my problem anymore. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this does suggest that there's something about the commute that is no longer viable. So it could potentially be that there's a transport or a vehicular issue, but it could just as easily be like, let's say you carpool with somebody, that might come to an end. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, something very similar here, but it looks like potentially maybe some of you hear from a boss or a colleague that actually your location of work is going to change. So if you're currently still working majoritarily, like in the majority outside of work or from home, etc., there might be a really big sort of drive at the minute to get people back into the office. I know that's happening a lot, and it might be for you. you know, some of you might decide, well, you know, if that's the way that it has to be, then maybe this is no longer the place for me. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, there's something about this where you are needing to widen your net. You need to cast a wider net for something that you're trying to do, or some kind of business that you're trying to pull in. Because you've got the Strength card here and that Three of Swords, it's like you're releasing one type of clientele and opening up to another, but it feels quite unstable to you because it's not what you're used to. Don't panic. You've got this in the bag. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this also suggests for you guys that maybe, just maybe, something that you enjoy in your local area is now closing down, right? So this could be a club, an association. It could be, you know, maybe it's something like amateur dramatics, very possible, but it's going away, and it's kind of like, wow, you know, this was something that I really loved and enjoyed, and now it's going away. I don't have that security anymore. In your love and relations, you've got the Six of Cups. When it comes to familial ties, there is a possibility here that some of you may end up having a bit of a tiswas with a family member where you have to voice an opinion about something from the past. And this isn't about you like, oh, I've held on to this for years and now I'm bringing it up because, you know, I want to get my 2 pence in. This is you drawing what's the word? It's like you're drawing on an experience from your past, possibly with this person as an example, and they can't handle it. That's not your stuff, it's theirs. Now, when it comes to those of you that are single and looking, this is a reconnection. This is you possibly considering that there is someone that you dated once that maybe you're open to doing so again. It's not a guarantee, and you might end up having a conversation with this person and then realizing, no, you know what, it's a nice idea, but we won't work. We didn't work then, we don't work now. On top of that, there's also a chance that some of you could be reconnecting with the one that got away. And with this Strength card, it's kind of like, will I or won't I? Do I have the courage to cross that threshold? For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, there's possibly you fighting on a partner's behalf this week. And it may be that things get quite heated, and it's possible that your significant other could say to you, look, I understand that you've got my back. I know you're just looking out for me, but I actually need you to back off on this one. And, you know, Scorpios you guys have got the best poker face. So it might very well be that you're having to kind of hide how much that hurts you, but at the same time kind of respect their wishes, right? And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Lovers card. So this is potentially, because the Lovers card is number 6, you've got the Six of Cups. 2 sixes represents balance or irritability. With these cards, I gotta say, there's a little bit of both. The irritability is coming from the fact that you might need to divest your interests on a financial level from another person's, especially if you're partnered or you've got financial connections and commitments to family members that you're now kind of going separate ways with. The other thing is as well that there's a choice here. For those of you that are partnered, it's like you're making a choice to do something with your money, or potentially part of the collective money that is not a popular opinion. So watch out for that. When it comes to for those of you that are single, you could still be making financial choices this week that's, you know, are not favorable. Maybe because that means that you can no longer support somebody else that is relying on you financially. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is your arms, your hands, and your fingers. Now, with this combination of cards, and especially with that Three of Swords, this week, whatever you are doing when it comes to the kitchen, for those of you that work in kitchens, for those of you that work in places like hospitals, etc., a touch wood, please be careful with yourself, all right? Your hands, your fingers, and your arms, your upper extremities and sharps, right? So if you work in a piercing parlor or a tattoo parlor, if you work in a hospital, if you work as a, you know, with chefs and knives and all the rest of it, please, please, please look after your physical self this week, especially your hands, your fingers, and your arms, okay? And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the Lovers card with the Strength card almost suggests that you're choosing to really work on the home in order to release it. So for some of you, this might be that, you know, when you're moving home, like, and you're releasing a rental, you have to do that final close down clean. For some of you, you might be choosing to do that early. For some of you, this might be that you're choosing to kind of say, actually, this whole area in general no longer works for or supports me in the way that I need. So that could, you know, and that might be another thing that upsets the apple cart. The other thing to remember here as well, you've got 3 cards in the air realm. That's a lot of thought energy and potentially a lot of communications, and not easy communications at that. So just be mindful. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you want to get your personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. And with that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.